The Tales of Wes Montgomery. The ICU was busy. People running around non-stop. One might have thought we had no idea what we were doing. We did. Patients had been prioritized. Each second spent on any patient treasured, and they were worth more than their weight in gold. Yet, I sat by Wes. A few hours earlier, Wes had been telling me how he would fight this and go home to his girlfriend who was expecting their baby. Now, Wes couldn't even talk, hooked to a bunch of tubes and monitors which told us he was leaving us. Surely, I sat there, not doing a thing. I couldn't hear the chaos behind me, only a solitary sounding beep, beeping slowly like time had come to a standstill. Wes was looking at me intently, like he was trying to tell me something. I looked into his eyes again. I saw a story of the time his high school sweetheart told him she loved him in a tiny room in his university hostel far away from his home, and his mom, his lovely mother. Wes closed his eyes in pain. He opened them again. Another story of a time in Bangkok where the driver of a taxi told him not to worry. Though he was a lone wolf, he will have the time of his life. He loved visiting Bangkok. He usually went alone, leaving his girlfriend at home. His reliable girlfriend. Another beep. Then another. A teardrop trickled down Wes's left eye. He tried to reach for it. He couldn't. It seemed he felt pain. He opened his eyes widely. Another story. He was in Kenya, mountain climbing. His guide told him to watch his step. Any misstep would have been his last. He would never have seen his dog again. Dulce, his loyal friend. Wes closed his eyes once more, then opened them again. I could feel his regret. He had so many stories and he hadn't told them to anyone. He had lived for a whole 30 years. Yet, he felt like he had left nothing behind. More tears flowed down Wes's eyes, both eyes. He closed them and opened them again. Wes had fought many battles. This one, he will lose to a virus determined to show him no mercy. I looked into Wes's eyes one last time. The whites of his eyes painted a golden yellow by a liver failing him. There was a hint of a smile in his eyes not shown by the contours of his face. The smile told me Wes was not scared of death. He embraced it. But he was scared of something else. Oblivion. He needed someone to share all the stories he had left behind. Wes held my hand. At that instant, I could feel his pain. He closed his eyes. His hand left weak in mine. I could sense all Wes's pain leave him, his pain becoming mine. I sat there, oblivious to the chaos behind me. Maybe someday I'll get over Wes's pain. Then I'll tell you all about the tales of a man called Wes Montgomery.
Back for another shift at work.
Dr. Evelina Graver documented parts of her day for us. She calls these days heart-wrenching. 12 to 16 hours inside a COVID-19 unit at North Shore University Hospital.
What we're seeing is a tremendous shift. We see a tidal wave coming at us, and we're scrambling to try to prepare for it as much as possible.
The rate of patients who cannot breathe is overwhelming.
In a matter of days, Dr. Li Wenliang went from treating patients to becoming one. The 34-year-old ophthalmologist diagnosed Saturday with the Wuhan coronavirus, dying less than a week later in the same hospital in which he worked.